matches here today. And we've got 5 best of 5s for you. It's a double elim group, so we've got souL versus Reynor, then we cast Goblin versus Bligh, then when we've casted Goblin versus Bligh, we have the next series with Bligh in it, then the other series. No! Oh my god, the tree just fell down. Okay, it didn't fall down. Just about like 8 decorations just fell off. Just all at once. Oh my god, that is terrifying. We have had a tree injury, guys. We've had a tree injury. Too many decorations in one place. As we have to the bottom left-hand side, our blue Terran player souL. And to the top right, our red Zerg Reynor. Let me steal someone's camera here for a moment while I just check to see if we can save some people. What happened, guys? What happened, tree decorations? Oh, there's just too many on one? No, that's not a thing. There's never too many decorations on one. That's silly. We'll just hang you right back up. I'm going to put you on here and just pray that it works. Hey, see, everyone's back on the tree already. No problems. Who's this one still on the floor? Rufflecore is still on the floor. Get back on the tree, Rufflecore. Thank you. See, guys, day saved. we just transfused the tree. Go us. We did it, guys. We saved the tree. I'm so proud of us all. Can't believe we did it. There are skins in StarCraft now. There's been skins in StarCraft for a long time, actually. For a very long time, actually. Game number 1 of this best of 5 then. Reynor's going wandering around with this Overlord out through the top. There's another Overlord out in the center as well. Heading down to the bottom left. An SCV going to come in and drop a command center. The early game hatch gas pool versus a Reaper expand is not going to get too crazy. Now, we casted Reynor against souL the other day. souL took that series down 2-1, but honestly, Reynor was not playing his best games of StarCraft on that day. So, seeing him coming up again. He's going to be kicking off and showing us what's going to be happening. And hopefully Reynor shows us some better games, because last night he was on fire. He didn't drop a map against Marine Lord, Showtime, Mana, and many other players. So he really is on fire last night. Let's hope he is today as well, because if we are in for a treat of some Zerg gameplay. We really, really are. We've been fighting against a few of these Zerglings here. As Ling's going to back away further into the natural. Ling speed on the way up then, as we do see the drone just popping out. And that factory coming up in the main base. Reactor drops down as well. Really, again, nothing crazy from souL so far. All eyes on whether he adds a starport and whether he's going to go into a fusion core. Because obviously the battlecruisers are the big question at the moment still in TVZ. Are they still good? Are people figuring them out? Now, Reynor, going into this pneumatized carapace upgrade, this not only lets you scout what this is, but it also opens up a really aggressive build, which we have been seeing a little bit of lately. The very fast pneumatized carapace lets you go into an attack where you go up to the lair because you want the drop lord, and you can bring the queens across the map with a roach Lingel in. It can be very powerful, especially if your opponent goes battlecruisers. So we'll see if that's Reynor's plan. Even if they just open Banshee, it's very good too, because the queens are across the map, great surround, kills that Reaper. The queens are across the map too, to be able to then target down the Banshees. And so the Banshees can't be used as part of the defense as the Fusion Core comes in. With that Overlord speed, Reynor should be able to see this very easily and keep these Overlords alive as well. Couple Marines going to force that Overlord back up the left side. The Fusion Core dropping down in the main. You're going to see the Tech Lab dropping in on the starport. And again, this rare Overlord just coming over and doesn't go far enough in to see the Fusion Core yet though, so hasn't confirmed it. But Reynor's still looking for information. This Overlord on its way back in now as well, and those Marines out of position to push this back, so he will get a full scout of the main base. Fusion Core to be seen in just a second, and he knows pretty much what's going on unless souL throws a hell of a curveball and maybe goes in towards, like, what, ranged Liberators? Or he just doesn't use the Fusion Core at all, I guess, but of course he will. Battlecruiser on the way up then, and let's see what Reynor does as a response to this, now that he knows what's coming in. Obviously, shortly he will start look to add Spore Crawlers in. As we see those Lingers looking to try and catch those Hellions. Hellions taking a little bit of damage at the moment already. Queen's still just hanging around here. Again, that BC on the way up in the main base now. Ling's going to come out down to the bottom side of the map. And again, those Hellions from souL trying to see what he can do. And his third base is completely unprotected. The Ling's on the bottom side, so actually souL's going to get right in here. Grabs 2 drones. Grabs 3 or 4 more. Another drone going down too. Ling's chasing those Hellions away through the top side. Roachron coming up from Reynor. As we do see the extra couple of factories also on the way in. It's going to be seen again. Zerglings continue to be picked off here. Ling's coming back towards the top right-hand side. And again, the Battlecruiser just in production here, about to finish up. And we do see the game continuing. A few Queens just getting set up. Spore Crawlers coming through. And the BC teleports. Oh, I like that. Teleports right into the back of the base, so that then he can come forwards and start avoiding the Spore Crawler as soon as possible. Well, Yamato Cannon is not researched here, so still going for a Yamato Cannonless opener. Gets him to factories a little bit faster because he spends a little bit less gas getting that upgrade. Queen's come into position very quickly from Reynor. A good defense from him. There's the dangerous part. The Ling's on the left side to defend. Yeah, I mean, it's dangerous because the Hellions come in when the Queens are out of position, right? But the Lings were there to defend, holds this off, even chasing the Hellions even further down, and they will be all killed off here in the next few moments. So Reynor just getting the last couple of connections. Complete shutdown so far. This, I mean, basically can come back in, but it's going to take damage from the Queens already. Already dropping kind of low. And that's going to be tough to get more done. Mule drops down, going to repair up this Battlecruiser. We see a couple of Extractors coming down from Reynor as well. Zerglings of Reynor chilling out towards the bottom left-hand side. Orbital Command dropping in on the natural too, so getting that set up. A couple more armories on the way out, and Siege Tank production to begin with as souL looks to make sure he can defend and attack from Reynor. Reynor not going overly aggressive though, just waiting for his lair to finish for roach speed. Getting his +1 missiles. He's just playing a kind of a nice little macro game against this for the moment, and just setting up for the eventuality that's probably going to still turn into Hellbats, Cyclones, and those BCs. I'd be very surprised if souL ended up just playing regular kind of Hellbat tank mech. It's just not what we've seen a lot of as of late. And this Mule dropping down brings his Battlecruiser back up to health. The great thing about this BC now is it does have the teleport available again. So with the teleport available once more, he's going to be able to teleport away from trouble, which is obviously very nice. And this PC also was just wandering up the map, so it also has a teleport available. That's, that's one of the downsides of teleporting initially. Obviously, you want to get across the map and hit ASAP as soon as possible, but you don't have that teleport away. Five Queens, Inject Queens, and Spore per base to defend the BC opener. Yeah, a couple of Spores as well do help to kind of kill it off faster. I think the biggest issue isn't the Battlecruiser, it's that people were trying to undermake units, and so they always had their third base open, so if you did defend the Battlecruiser, Hellions would run in, and they would get a lot done, as this BC obviously has a teleport out of here. The issue was the Queens were just never in the right position. Now that the Zergs are starting to figure out what the common things to do are, well, now he's just going to, now the Zergs are able to kind of have enough Lings up to know they need to defend Hellions on the left side, for example. And the Queens can go and fully commit to defending the Battlecruiser, getting rid of it before too much damage is done. Queens gathering in the center. You see a few Hellions poking up. Roaches able to grab a couple of Hellions there as well. Far left-hand side, some Lings hanging out, ready to run by. As we do see the Spire about to finish from Reynor. That's to get rid of those BCs. Although only 2 BCs, so can't overcommit to units off of the Spire, but will go into an infestation pit behind it. Can still use the Corruptors to obviously chase around as well, though, to chase around and to get some caustic sprays going on some of the command centers, some of the structures. So 11 Corruptors for the moment. Again, that will overrun the BCs in a couple of seconds, no problem. As we see those BCs at the moment up the left side, chasing down an Overseer, but the Overseer is out of there as Roaches intercept Hellions. And so far, Reynor is just on top of everything that souL has tried to do. souL has just not found a single opening, a single opportunity. Just time and time again being shut down, unable to do anything. And now this command center going to come down to the bottom side of the map, going to drop in here and get this going. I say that, but actually these Roaches show up. He's going to be able to get rid of a couple of these tanks already. BCs will not be able to keep up with the Roaches with speed, so the Roaches are going to be able to get away. Just kiting away to some Hellbats right now. I mean, Reynor turns around, 3 damage, right? Extra Hellbat kills, and again, he'll get away faster than the Battlecruisers. The best thing the Battlecruisers could do would drop a couple of Yamatos, but Reynor wouldn't even be upset about that. Yamato cannons right now would be a fantastic way for him to, soak up basically the option of, Jesus, caustic spray Ascendant Tower. I kind of like it, because it's small enough that it just gets picked off so quickly. Roaches is hanging out in the center. Plus 2 missile attack coming down the Evo chamber. Plus 1 flyer carapace coming in as well. Lings, Corruptors, and Queens all in at the center of the map. See what's going on. The Locust getting set to go. Jump up into the skies. Roaches and a Ravager just going to push this back down. Again, a couple of BCs. Going to come in with a couple of Yamatos here. And these are what the Corruptors are meant to be dealing with. There's going to be seeing the Hellbats and the Recyclings being pulled back. Marines here in the bunker in a little bit of trouble as we do see the Roaches continue to come forwards. The BCs are good. The BCs survived against those Corruptors and able to kind of get on top of them. Another wave of Locusts coming up from Reynor now. And souL will hold on for a moment or two, and the Cyclones will pick up some kills here. There's actually not much to really push the Cyclones back at all. I mean, these Queens won't win the fight in the end. Pulling backwards, the Corruptors, the Swarm Hosts, the Roaches, and the Lings all getting themselves ready to go again. Lings and a Roach going to run forwards here already, chasing those Cyclones down. Another Battlecruiser on the way up, and 2 more Starports building as that Hive is about to finish up in the main. I mean, he did take out the tanks already now, so there's only really a couple tanks on the high ground. Cyclones over here. He's got 1 tank here too, which is really good defensively. Cyclones trying to push those Corruptors away. Corruptors want to dive in right now while the Locusts will do the job of getting rid of the Cyclones. Locusts dropping down. Well, the Cyclones still actually out of reach, so they are able to lock onto the Corruptors, and the BCs teleport away. But for the next wave of Locusts, teleport will be on cooldown, so if Reynor can recreate the situation, then maybe there is some opportunity here. Almost out to the right, Corruptors and Roaches in the center. And we are just going to be seeing plus 2 vehicle plating, plus 2 ship weapons still on the way up. Still really reliant on the battlecruisers, which he's continuing to build. So in the end, Reynor's commitment to the Corruptors was justified no matter what. I mean, I thought we needed a few anyways, but I thought 11 might be a few too many. Definitely hasn't been. Might even add more soon. Another couple of Hellions getting taken down here. Drones being roasted so far. 8 Ravagers currently building on in. This first game of the TVZ is quite spicy. I like it. I'm enjoying it already. Someone's going to pull back out into the center. More Corruptors just hanging out in the sky. And still just looking to see Reynor pressing forwards. Creep spread coming down. Cyclones locking onto a couple of the Roaches here, so getting some kills there as well. And, well, we do have these Cyclones still pressing forwards. There go the Locusts up into the sky. Going to start chasing those Cyclones down. The Locust kind of popped up quite a way away, but it does give the Corruptors a chance to Caustic Spray on the left. Going for this Orbital Command. SCVs will be pulled in to repair. BCs on the way over, but the Caustic Spray is too much. Okay, they can Yamato down a couple of Corruptors. At the same time, the Roaches and Ravagers still breaking through in the front, and Reynor just has 5 bases. Economy is just fine, and he's just got money to keep rebuilding after these fights. He'll turn and fight now to push those Cyclones back, even though lock-ons do a lot. Kind of corrosive his own Queen there. It was locked on anyways. It was just giving him a simpler way out. Better to go down feeling full of Zerg acid rather than that horrible bullet of a Cyclone, right? Debatable, but I would imagine as a Queen you prefer the Zerg death. Locusts ready again as Swarm Hosts will try and break through this position once more. The BCs really stacking up in numbers now. Now we see the Cyclones actually lock onto the Locusts. Don't think that's really what you want to have happen here. As you see teleports away and the BCs as they get into trouble. Now the Roach Ravager with Locusts as well. Maybe starting to break through on the ground. Again, the Corruptors are keeping the BCs pulling backwards and keeping the damage on the Corruptors rather than the Roach Ravager, so they are somewhat just free to keep pressing forwards. 8 more Corruptors on the way up. Corrosive Biles hitting on the BCs there. 1 BC actually goes down. This BC is already teleported. It's going to be intercepted now. More Corrosive Biles. Lock-ons on the Corruptors, but more Corruptors showing up as Reynor really begins to break on through this now. These couple of BCs are so low. They need to be healed. Reynor will just wait for reinforcements. He's got so many Corruptors coming into play here. He's got the Hive, but he still didn't build a greater spy. He's just been upgrading his Corruptors instead, plus 1 flyer attacks and so on. Another wave of Locusts just looking to shut down some of these units, and already a couple Cyclones going down here. I mean, it's just almost guaranteed damage at this stage as this Orbital is in some trouble. Here come the BCs. Yamato cannons are going to go crazy. Corrosive Biles came down as soon as the Yamato started to fire, though. And again, the BCs without teleports are going to be pushed away. Reynor finding out a great counter to this BC style, has played a beautiful game of StarCraft 2, and now has too much. Coming on through, BCs keep on falling. A couple of Vikings will force this away. He's just going to make sure he kills that Orbital, keeps the economy low, and now can maybe turn it around towards a base on the right side if he wants to focus elsewhere for a little while. Cyclone lock-on's already used. Corruptors want to get out of range and maybe go pick off a couple free Vikings or another Battlecruiser kill. I mean, BC just teleports back, another BC pops out, but again, the Corruptors are just so good at the moment, getting so many kills here. This BC teleports away as well. Tell you what, the Corruptor count is starting to drop down a little bit here, maybe diving a bit too hard with the Cyclones just left to deal damage, but of course, at the same time, the entire natural natural base is being completely gutted here. The Model Cannon comes down, a Ravager gets picked off there, Locust still pressing up and forwards. And Reynor will back away into the center of the map here. souL down on 120 supply. Not looking good to continue fighting. Not looking good at all. Reynor looking absolutely fantastic at the moment. And as you see, the couple of creep teamers continue to come down here. And Reynor going to keep on pressing this through. Roaches and Ravagers coming forwards here. Going to see a couple of SCVs going down. Again, Hellions, Battle Cruisers, Vikings, Cyclones as well, all getting set up as we see Corrosive Bowels to drop on the BCs. As again, the just Corrosive Bowels as the Yamato cannon means they can't micro away. Corruptors overrunning in the skies. Again, the Cyclones on the ground might buy a little bit of time. I mean, at some point you can just build a Great Spire though and go into Brood Lords and you will overrun. Minimize orientation of the extension, yeah, if it hasn't changed yet, it'll be changed on a refresh of the page. So that it minimizes to the side of the screen rather than a little bit out of the middle. Where did I get my posters? I got my posters from BlizzCon. Or the Blizzard Gear Store. I mean, I got them from BlizzCon, but they're usually available on the Blizzard Gear Store as well. Top left-hand side. Our red Zerg player. This is Reynor. Bottom right, our blue Terran is souL. Alright. So we got a match arena for this page as well, guys. We're going to send people over there as soon as we get the link after the game or so. Or did Rifkin already send it to me? Look at this guy. Alright. Copy link. Edit command. Match arena. Support. Slay them all on match arena with the coupon code Sleigh. Boom. Go do that, guys. Match arena in the chat. Perfect thing to do would be open the match arena, use the coupon code Sleigh, and use your comment to say, "Hi Rifkin, Wardy sent me." Because that'll really annoy him if he knows that I sent loads of people to use the coupon and he didn't. So go do that. Or write Riftblush. Write Wardy Riftblush. That's even better. Go use the coupon code, write Wardy Riftblush. It doesn't cost you anything, guys. It's completely free to do. Do go and check that out. And I'll show you guys how to do that as well after this game or so. It's going to be seeing the spawn and pool about to finish up here from Reynor. So, again, the early game opening, not too wacky, not too weird. Hatch, gas, and pool coming down. On the bottom right side of the map, the factory is coming in. A reactor starts up on the barracks as well. And a command center coming through from souL on this natural expansion. So, again, this natural expansion nicely set up. As the Reaper comes through the top side of the map, going to be heading along in towards the main base in the near future. Reynor still has no team. Yeah, so basically everyone says Reynor's really bad. So we're not going to pick him up. / he's probably just got loads of offers and he's trying to find the best one. / they might just announce it a little bit closer to WCS to build the hype. There's a few different ways it can work. Honestly, I would be so surprised. I'm not going to bet myself eating a shoe on it, but I'd be so surprised if he didn't have a team by the time WCS starts for this year, for 2019. I'd be so surprised. Again, that pneumatized carapace early. Reynor just says, okay, look, it's a meta game where Terrans can do a few tricky things. Let's just open with that scout. It gives me options later as well. Let's get that pneumatized carapace early. So it does mean you sacrifice a queen because you have to continue mass gas mining. And it takes a little while to build up, and obviously it goes on a hatchery, so you can only build one thing on a time at a hatchery. So it does slow down your queen production, but the information it gives you is so valuable. And that's why players are starting to invest into this early in the game. Denver was actually the first Zerg I saw who was going pneumatized carapace against these Terran openings at the moment. Single Hellion is going to poke away on this hatch, just dealing a little bit of damage. Sorry, just got an email from Blizzard. Just have to read quick. Feels bad, man. I ordered a bunch of stuff in the Black Friday sale, and obviously that was a while ago. And now they're just like, oh, it's all sold out. Sorry, bye. Refund. Well, now I don't want this other stuff they're trying to send me, so I'm going to get annoyed with them. A few Hellions from souL just gathering up over on the left-hand side. Another Hellion going to come over to the left as you see this Overlord from Reynor flying through and again looking for that scout. But he sees the cloak, he sees the Banshee, he sees no fusion core. Well, he doesn't see the Banshee, but you can assume it's a good Banshee opener. As this Banshee comes across, Banshee might have actually flown through this Overlord's vision. Yeah, it's actually a bit of a shame because I bought a bunch of like WCS shirts and hoodies to do giveaways with on stream, but feels bad, man. Feels bad. Anyways, you've seen this Banshee takes a bunch of damage already. Just was in range of what, like the Spore Crawl? I thought, wow, that Spore Crawl felt so far away though, and I think souL probably felt the same. Comes in here, gets one drone, and right now he is really just picking at scraps. Gets a second drone, but the Queens get the Banshee kill, and Reynor has performed a complete shutdown. As you do see those Hellions still trying to press forwards and towards the third base. There's 4 Queens. I know it was 4 Queens, but like the Spore was over here, and I was like, wow, the Spore's so far away. I didn't think it was in detection range for the Banshee when it was taking so much damage. So it was obviously it was, but it was right on the edge, and just with the angling of it, etc., really looked as though it was safe when it wasn't. Banshee number 2 comes into the main, gets a couple of kills as well. As you see the Baneling Nest now on the way down here from Reynor. We're going to be seeing some drones on the way up. And +1/+1 melee upgrades getting started. Now on the other side of the map, souL has got his own +1/+1 upgrade started too. His third base coming in, Stimpack coming down, or finished even already, and going into combat shield. So souL's already setting up into that bio play to completely change up the style from game 1, going into game number 2 now. Single Hellion to come into the mineral line and, well, mostly scout, but we'll deal a little bit of damage here. Obviously nothing influential. Actually gets a drone kill though, and so in fairness, while scouting a little bit and seeing what's up, he gets a drone as well. Definitely was a scout because he has other Hellions here that aren't just running forward, so wanted to try and figure out what sort of composition Reynor's trying to play into. Baneling Nest is done with the lair complete. It means that Baneling speed, that centrifugal hooks upgrade, can get started pretty much right away. So that's already coming through. As we do see those medevacs heading up to the top side of the map, there's a few Marines of souL stimming in to push that Overlord all the way down to the south. Third CC is obviously looking to land here in a moment or so. And medevac's about to unload in the main base. There's a 4th hatchery coming down to the south. And there we go again. Medevac's into the main, and the Queen going to get pushed away pretty quickly here. A couple of drones going down. And again, Zerglin's looking to set up. The Spore Crawler dealing some damage to that medevac. Gets it very low. And now in between these minerals, obviously makes it a little bit more tough to actually engage into this here. But does get the drones back to mining. souL is pushed away. Good hold by Reynor, as the medevac will start boosting out into the center of the map. Spire coming up on the third base. Again, a few more Marines unloading. Overlord going to be pushed away. Blings and Bane still gathering up from Reynor then. Armory on the way down. 1/1 melee upgrades coming up as well. A bit of a scan here as we see souL taking some damage onto the Marines, and on the bottom left side, a Banshee coming back in with some Marines as well. This is what souL is so good at. He's such a, I like to say a reckless Terran, because he will just drop everywhere, attack everywhere, and do as much as he can with these units. And he will just be like all over the map, which it's not that he tries to be reckless, it's that his style naturally becomes reckless because it's difficult to kind of keep up with everything all over the place. And as this Banshee now still dealing some damage here, Overseer comes in. It feels like this Banshee has been a little bit forgotten about as he pushes in on the natural, but Reynor's here as well to shut that down. Those Marines forced to lift up and back away as well. So two medevacs continue to boost out through the top side. We're going to be seeing a 4th command center from souL also coming in here. So 12th CC of souL coming down. Mutalisks coming up towards the top into the main. And +2 melee, +2 carapace coming through. +1 flyer attack coming in on the Spire as well. The Muta's going to really start to shut down these drops. They're actually a really good style to play against souL because of how much he likes to drop and how well the Mutas can do, forcing those Mutas to obviously, forcing those medevacs to lift up, but then not be able to kind of stick around and go elsewhere, because they'll obviously just chase them down and get the kill. couple of Marines there going down. He didn't actually have enough space in the medevac. This flight is full. Please catch the next flight. Well, that'd be nice if the next medevac came sooner than the Zerglings overrunning the runway. 2 upgrades still coming through from Reynor, and he's actually pretty evened out with the upgrades of souL. His souL's +2 attacks faster, but his +2 armor's pretty much at the same time. So souL messing up there a little bit because he did have a slight lead on the 1-1. So he just loses that a little bit on the armor upgrades. You see Mutas trying to come in and, well, finding just little positions like this to pick away at refinery and so on. Very annoying, but souL just says, Mutas, I don't care. Let's go across the map. And now Reynor has to find himself enough Banes and a good fight to take this down. 5th base in the forward position taken down, but it is one of the easier bases to shut down here by souL because it is right in the middle of the map. Very far forwards. Banes have to be used on a couple of Hellbats and Marines on the top. That's not quite what you want right away. Tell you what though, this 3rd base is completely free to be hit by a Zergling run by. And already a bunch of SCVs going down there. A little bit of barrier coming in to reinforce. The Ling's already wrapping around that and doing a pretty decent job of it. In this fight, I mean, those Widow Mines are just wandering off into the middle of nowhere too. Reynor will keep units alive here, and he has done a very good job to get that started. And 3 more Lings coming in, still picking off over here. Reynor's counterattack has done so much. This Marauder will survive, but Refinery's going down, Depot's going down. Wow, and souL's army obviously not able to press forwards at the same time here, but the Widow Mines, one of them burnt burrows. No, the Widow Mine hit actions are huge. 10+ kills on multiple mines there. Reynor just running in after doing so well. So many Depots going down. souL's about to be supply blocked. These Lings even being kept alive. Mutas are now finding an opportunity, feeling safe enough to come across the map. Triple missile turret over on this 4th base though, and that's an immediate get out of there moment. souL does not have any time to spend looking at those. That's why he built the missile turrets, and now Reynor pulls those Mutas away to somewhere else. Well, into the natural, you're going to see immediately, well, Widow Mine burrows actually will slow this down. Gonna go for the engineering base, slow down free upgrades. If you're playing continued into more Mutalisk production, Reynor can't afford to go into free of his own because it takes an infestation pit, a hive. It's slow. So choosing for more Mutalisks, the infestation pit only just comes up now. Killing an engineering bay would slow down those upgrades of souL and keep you a little bit more kind of up there and in the game when it comes to those upgrades. It's going to be seeing Marines coming down to the bottom side. Mutas still gathering up to the top. Infestation pit about to finish from Reynor. More Lings and more Banes still on the way out as well. Mutas flying down the right, going to go for that medevac. Oh my god, he is just going to find it with a couple of units still left inside. The Widow Mine doesn't connect either, as the Mutas see it's trying to target. And there's an Overseer here too. He could just dive in for that Widow Mine. He will go for it, gets it in one shot. Widow Mine denied. Bane's going to crush through what is an attempt of a wall-off over here, but souL sees it ahead of time. Oh, that Bane actually blows up the Widow Mine. Nicely done. Mutas back onto the engineering base at the front. And again, well, he goes for the engineering bay on the back. And this time he's going to get the +3 attack. Denied. And again, that's exactly what he's looking for. And as we're going to be seeing, the Marauder goes down. The Mutas again just hanging around. Need to be a bit careful. They're getting backed into a corner, but they have an escape path through the main base, where of course they'll pick up even more damage as they fly through an armory. I mean, he actually has double armory, so this one in the main not really that important. But again, just takes down a missile turret. It's all about opening up options for later. And as he flies out from this main, I mean, he's either got dead air to fly into, so he's safe, or you could fly into this base as well, as Lings are going to run by over here. Few Lings already jumping on towards the bunker. Mutas are going to come in as well. Missile turret goes down. The orbital is under fire. This orbital is probably going to die unless he, well, sends the SCVs in, but then the Lings are going to kill him. This army of souL was just out on the map, and he's being punished for it. Mutas with big kills again. 19 SCVs are dropping the main. We'll find some drones. It's the first time we've seen souL actually being successful with any sort of an attack in about 5 minutes. He had a lot of presence on the map, but he wasn't able to do anything as Reynor started to run around, just pull him apart. Reynor is playing some magnificent StarCraft here so far today. First game, beautiful against souL. Just a really good set of fights from Reynor. Second game so far, absolutely fantastic as well. As you see these Mutas coming up to the top, looking to grab some of those Marines, get the medevac as well. So much damage being done. Reynor's just absolutely killing it, guys. Loving this. Well, souL's going to try and push across, but every time he moves out, these Mutas have just had too much time and too much momentum. And now they come in, and I mean, and CZ going to be cancelled here, so no clue of a 5th base. Sorry, souL. Not allowed, buddy. See, Lings and Banes already set up down here. Not too many, though, from Reynor. Okay, there's the rest of them getting ready to roll on in. Just trying to send a couple units ahead of the rest so you can blow up a couple of Widow Mines. Obviously, try and set a few of those off without taking huge connections. Again, a few more coming in. Actually forces the unburrow, reburrow. But all this time, is actually just more Ling Bane damage being done. Here we go. The Lings and Banes well split as well to minimize the splash of the Widow Mines. And everything from souL's just going to go down. GG is just going to be called right then and there. Reynor goes up 2-0 in this I did wonder if it was you. Because, you know... Hang on, let me keep the whole screen on while I just put this on the tree. I did wonder if it was you. You know, Big Dave, the DK. You know, big boy, big boy. Thanks for the Twitch Prime sub, mate. Merry Christmas to you, too. I got you a Christmas present as well. It's this lovely decoration. Look, I'll put you pride of place on the tree. Right off of any other space I can find. Alright. Let's do this! Merry Christmas, mate. Have a good one. As we kick off into Reynor souL game 3. Reynor currently up 1-0. I love all the comments coming in on the Match Arena page, guys. We are raising a bunch of money for this tournament right now, which is awesome. Great to see. Loving it. Alrighty. Keep that money coming in. Exclamation mark Match Arena. There is coupon codes to use. As to the top left-hand side, up 2-0. Our red Zerg is Reynor. And at the top right, our blue terror from Wind and Rain is souL. Yes, it is 2-0 slowly. That's what happens when Reynor wins 2 games out of the 2 so far. I don't know how you thought it was 1-0. You're not been paying attention. Aye. I liked how you just faded out instead of leaving us. Like my dad did. Wow. Wow, Red Star. That's brutal. I said 1? No, I said 2. You're just hearing me wrong. He's 1 map away from winning the series. I definitely didn't. I never make a mistake slowly. That's why we ban everyone in Twitch chat, because if they say I did something wrong, I just don't. I never do. Stop fucking backing her up, guys. Stop it. Stop telling Sleigh she's right. God damn it. See, that's why we have to ban so many people. What are you saying on the page? Say, Wardy Riff Blush. Hi, Rifkin. Love your blush. Or something. I don't know. Say what you want. The more you meme Rifkin off, the more I enjoy it, though. Rotoron coming down here on the top side from Reynor. It's a very fast Rotoron here on Stasis, so looking for a bit of a Roach Lingle in to wrap this series up, perhaps, already. Reaper is still just hanging around, seeing what's going on. Seeing what the chances are, what the opportunities are here. And Rotoron going to be finished in a moment, and obviously Reynor is about to just make a bunch of units. Tell you what, though, he doesn't actually have too much free supply. He could do with an extra Overlord. Because he's only going to be able to make 1 more Roach at the moment. Well, obviously no third base right now as well. It means that souL, backing away, is still a little bit curious as to what's going on, but isn't reacting too much yet. A couple of Hellions coming down. And there's the Queen poking and prodding. Again, no link speed to get as many Roaches out as possible. Reynor's supply block, though, like, what a huge mistake to get a supply blocked at this sort of time of the game. He's actually going to build drones behind this. So this probably isn't going to do too much damage yet. Feeling is hanging out in the main. Going to be seeing the Queen just hanging out in the back of the natural. I think he's going to keep on pressing forwards again. Roach is just coming in and, well, immediately going to get some damage on the Hellion. But with the Banshee coming up, well, it's a good thing Reynor's droning, I guess. He waited a long time to send these Roaches across the map because I think he was waiting to get unsupply blocked. I think it was just, it's just not been a perfect execution of this, I don't feel, by Reynor. And he's going to be punished for that because immediately here we have a Banshee. And, well, at this point, I guess you just go for it. Tries to cross with Battle Banshee down. That's a real Hail Mary move. Like, can I kill the Banshee? Probably not is the answer. He's going to go for a few SCVs here. No, target the SCVs, not the bunker. Throws the bars on the expensive depot. They call down supply. But it's not going to go down. It's going to be held onto. 3 workers killed. That's not really a lot of damage out of Reynor. souL instantly repairs or salvages the bunker. Gets the money back from there. And so you have this Overlord pushed away over to the right-hand side. Cloak Banshee on the way up as we see a few drones going down to the Hellion run by. This is souL holding on and also dealing damage to bring himself back into this series. It'd be great to see this go past a third game. Obviously, the last thing we want is just to see a 3-0. So some potential here for that to happen. As the 2 Banshees moving out into the center of the map. Going to move it along towards the natural expansion in the next few moments. So Banshee's coming all the way along to the left side. I'm just chilling out here at the moment. And a couple of SCVs coming down. Stimpack starting up on the barracks. And Marine on the way out as well. So another Banshee coming into play here. As again, those Banshees are going to be jumping into the main in the next couple of moments. So This is going to be where Reynor could really take a lot more damage and could really be brought to a position where it's going to be very difficult for him to stay alive in the future pushes, because souL's just going to have so much with so much damage dealt. They're not ready yet either, so the high-end G-Queen under attack. That is an absolute must transfuse. Trying to get back towards the Spore Crawl and will do, but not in time to keep the Queen alive. And now the Banshees just pull away. Another Queen going down. Oh no, Reynor's having some trouble here. Back into the main base, going to go for a few drones. Obviously, again, Spore Crawler doesn't cover the entire distance you need. Nelly gets the Banshee, 2 HP escape. Another drone as well. souL just really maximizing the damage here so far. This Banshee is going to go down because this is a bit of a weird position on stasis. And he will finally get the other Banshee actually into position to come and just get another couple of kills. Scans the natural here, tries to see fully what's going on, but there isn't really much to see. Roach speed now starting. There's a couple of Nematized Carapace Overlords are all the way across the map trying to scout out what's happening. And he does see the barracks moving to a tech lab and Stim starting up. Extra barracks on the way down. So he gets confirmation that this is mech. That this is bio and not mech. Custom and Overlord, but it's a completely worthwhile Overlord to give up, right? I mean, it is so worthwhile. Absolutely valuable there. As we see 2 engineering bays coming up on this natural. Third command center is ready to move out. Going to start morphing that into an orbital. +1 missiles and the Roach speed here about halfway done at the moment. Third hatchery coming down from Reynor as well. Overlord's still just chilling out and having a little bit of a look around, see what else is going on. I say that Overlord, it's a new Overlord just moving around the map. Third CC should move into position from souL shortly. Reynor going to stick with a Roach style, but he is really behind. souL, I think, yeah, I think he was trying to maybe scan over here or something. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure. Or maybe he wasn't meant to drop the mule down right in position. Maybe he was actually meant to drop it down to repair. Just didn't want it to be looked at as a mana mule. Which is actually genuinely a thing. Like, some people... It happens a few times when you drop, like, the mule instead of the scan somehow and stuff like that. It's, definitely, you know, it can be mistaken, so... souL very quick to make sure he's not being seen as bad mana here. Overlord getting pushed away from the main. We'll just fly back over, sees the third is mining. This Overlord so low, it should get killed off by, like, any Marine. Might get away, no. It takes a couple of moments to decide which deck actually wants to run in. souL doesn't have Stim, so Overlord somehow manages to survive this. Again, Reynor's playing from behind, from a heavy deficit as well. How did souL get ahead? Just... Reynor opened with, like, a weird Roach attack, which wasn't really full commitment. But it also hit a bit late because it just felt like he messed up the build a bit, got a bit supply blocked. And because of that combination of things, his attack didn't do too well. souL took basically no damage at all. And he counterattacked and did quite a bit. He got a few drone kills with Hellions. So even though Reynor was droning up quite quick, that kind of got reset by the Hellion kill and the Banshee damage. And now it's... yeah, now it's just going to be souL continue to push across to... Well, again, try and end this game number 3 in his favor. Try and take us into a real series here. As you do see, one tank going to load up, drop down there. A few Marines coming to drop over to that natural as well to start kind of pressuring some units in. More tanks sieging up, going to pull back in towards them. As these Marines are obviously on a little bit of an incorrect hotkey for a moment. souL will unsiege. Looks as though he's just out of here. Sees the Roaches, sees the Ravagers. Just decides it's not worth him attacking at the moment, even though his 1-1's about to finish. His combat shield isn't done just yet, as we do see a couple of medevacs of Marines going to load up, come through the center and across to the left. So souL really just very, very quick to back away, but I mean, in fairness, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing for him. 5 Infestors on the way out, +2 missile attack upgrade coming in on the Evolution Chamber. This is Marine Stim, and you see a couple of Roaches and Ravagers able to get a couple of kills. This Hellion still just hanging around on the bottom. You see an Overlord gets taken down. And a couple of Marines getting picked off here. There's his medevacs backing out into the center. Command center lifts up, going to take the gold base in just a couple of moments. Again, Roaches and Ravagers just going to be hanging out over to the left-hand side. Hive and Aspire coming up from Reynor. There's 2-2 upgrades also on the way in. I mean, souL again just continuing to power through into upgrades and everything that's going to keep it in an advantage here. He's probably going to push with 2-2. I mean, Reynor's going up into Hive, so 2-2 timing from souL would be very good to hit before Broodlords come out, hit when that, you know, when the Zerg player's weak. He spent money investing into a Hive and Aspire, and a Great Aspire eventually as well, obviously. and probably he's building Corruptors, he's not going to have as much on the ground. And you also just hit your upgrades. It's a good timing all around to push and to look to deal some damage. So perhaps looking for that here. As you do see this Roach running down the left side. Obviously the army just maybe expecting souL to come in for drop. And here he goes, starting to press forward, so he'll be in position for 2-2 finishing. Marines continue to press forwards. So the attack comes in the top side. On the bottom left, a Hellion that was just running around gets taken down. Now some drops come in this direction. souL is again going to put the tank up on that high ground here on Stasis. We see the fungal growth coming down. Big stim forwards. And again, more tanks just continue to siege. Marines loading up, going up in towards the natural stim once again. A couple of corrosive bowels will kill that siege tank once more. So siege tank gets taken down. Marines unloading on the natural expansion here from souL. And still pressing forwards. We're going to be seeing those tanks getting a lot of damage done. Roaches and Ravagers getting dealt damage all over the place here at the moment. Fungal growth actually hits quite nicely to try and hold souL off, but Reynor, he's holding souL off for the moment, but how long will he truly last? He's having to spend his gas on Infestors to try and stay alive, and that's obviously just meaning that, you know, less and less money is going to be spent on the switch into Broodlords. Now we already see souL actually going into Vikings. He's preparing for the eventual kind of, well, the eventuality of Vikings here. These Marines should have dropped a bit further back to bring the Roaches into tank range. And some more corrosive bowels, although the tank's surviving for the moment. These tanks just holding the natural ramp as well, so it's actually impossible for Reynor to bring units out of the main and natural and down towards the 3rd and 4th base to help this army. So he's in a really tough position at the moment, a really tough position. He's loading up and going up in towards the natural here again. Roach is still taking some damage bio. Stimming in, we are going to be seeing a few infested Terrans being dropped down. Infested Terrans taking quite a bit of damage again. The Hive taking some hits. Marauders stimming forwards. Corrosive Bowels getting rid of the siege tank here. Great Spire actually under some fire. Broodlords are on the way up, but again, we've seen souL build on Vikings for a little while, so he's definitely got an answer to those Broodlords. So he just slowly and systematically picks Reynor apart little by little. Not by going here and there and back to here and back to there, by just one solid, very slow push forwards. Again, all he needs right now is, well, he actually only made 2 Vikings. He's got 4 more on the way. That's a little bit of a mistake from souL, I have to believe. I mean, he batted on extra starports. He just killed one of the Broodlords with Marines. He's kind of holding on now. He's unsieged a lot of the tanks, so he's going to pull back. We'll have to siege up again, though, as these Roaches will want to try and take advantage of this. He's sieged up behind this fog of war. Reynor didn't know, so Reynor runs right into a whole ton of damage already. A lot of damage dealt there. And again, Marines and Marauders still just hanging out with those tanks. And Ghosts looking to try and keep on pressing forwards. A couple of snipes coming down on Broodlords. Fungal Growth will kill those Ghosts actually with the Corrosive Bowels. Gets 2 of the 4. souL still pressing in there. Reynor drained out of gas to mine. And again, with the Vikings coming in, he just has a straight up answer to the Broods, which were the one thing kind of forcing the tanks further back. Now there's definitely nowhere near as much of an issue. As, I mean, a single Corrupt out as well. No greater spy to morph that into a Broodlord. And the tanks will retake their position after all of this was done. Drops down an EMP on the Infestors with the Ghost that was boosted forwards by the Medevac. So the Infestors don't even have fungal energy right now either. And this is getting to the point where souL will just be able to press in for the win. Roaches coming through the bottom side, heading all the way across to the far right. There's extra tanks coming forwards. Marines and Marauders setting up. The Vikings want to just dive in and get rid of a couple of Broodlords while they can. Again, just doesn't want to have those there causing friendly fire damage. Goes sniping down a couple expensive Ravagers there as well. I mean, not just Broodlords in trouble here, but the Overlords as well. And these Vikings are just in such high numbers. Across the map, a Roach counterattack is stopping a command center from landing on the 6th base. But obviously, a 6th base is really not important right now. Reynor even lost his natural to those few Marines that were up there before. And the tank pressing forward. So we do see the Roaches and Ravagers still trying to come forward. Some Vikings will land. And while Scan coming down, he's going to be seeing this army from souL. Should just be able to clean this up. Again, he's been very calm, very patient about it. Just 100% making sure. But it's obviously a very slow choke out. As Reynor can have a few more snipes drop down on his Roaches and just anything, really. Anything these Ghosts can snipe down is basically free damage at this point. As he doesn't even need the siege tanks. Apparently he's fighting this with the Marines and the Ghosts. Snipe still coming down. Might run out of units here in a moment, but the Vikings come forwards as well. On the other side of the map, I mean, these roaches move in to kind of push some SCVs off of the mineral line. I mean, congratulations. It's cool and all, but it's still not really enough. So Infested Terran's being dropped down as well. A couple of unsieged tanks now coming in also. souL has got so much money in their bank. It's almost like he's just being a little bit lazy. Not quite rebuilding everything that he could be rebuilding at the moment. GG from Reynor. This game is more than over, and souL will take game number 3 of the best of 5. My affiliate link, !war chest in the chat. Keep checking it out. It's been great to see so much response to it already. Thank you so much, guys. Aslan High saying, thanks for the gifted sub. I believe you got hit by Pop and Mitch earlier on. Welcome to the family, dude. As we kick off into game 4. To the top right-hand side, our red Zerg player. This is Reynor. Up against the blue Terran in the lower left-hand side from Wind and Rain, it's souL. Yeah, and how's everyone doing today? Thank you so much for tuning in. Honestly, I just thought we were going to have a fun little small stream today. I thought we'd do a small little tournament earlier on and recast this just for a little bit of extra content, because why not? I did not expect to have this many viewers carry through into this tournament. It's actually kind of incredible. I'm rocking, what, 2.28k viewers? I mean, base rate obviously started after me, so they're going to be behind. This is not a, haha, I'm ahead of base rate on viewers thing. This is like a, just a genuine, like, wow thing. Like, I'm on 2.2k viewers. Base rate are coming up to 2k viewers right now as well. Isn't that crazy? 2 English streams covering the event. We've got crazy viewership on both. That's pretty sick if you ask me. That is pretty freaking sick. Alright then. So, getting this going. As we go into game number 4 here. souL and Reynor going up against each other right now. Vorment, you don't have to be mean about people when you're trying to be nice. Just say the nice part. Thank you. I get some of you guys don't like base rate or whatever. We don't have to shout about it, as this pool first is, well, delaying the CC, but the Reaper stuck around, so Reaper able to get quite a bit of damage so far. And again, Ling is very obviously slowing down the expansion, but nothing too crazy. There's no Ling speed here either, so the factory can come onto the reactor. It's taken souL a long time to clean up these Zerglings. He kind of went into the main, now he's going to chase the natural. I mean, he's taking a lot longer than I feel he should, and his SCVs off the line really aren't helping him either. As we do see the Reaper, oh my god, nearly went down even. That was crazy. Rambo Penguin. Oh, the Rambo Penguin. I read that the wrong way around. The Rambo Penguin says, haven't watched StarCraft 2 since mid-heart the Swarm when I quit playing. Always been hoping it gets popular again. Honestly, StarCraft's doing pretty well right now. It's having a pretty good time. It's doing pretty okay. Welcome back if you've just started watching again, which is what I'm assuming you're saying with your message. Good to see you. Good to see people coming back to such a brilliant game. StarCraft's in a really good place right now. If you haven't followed it for a while, we just had a really great year of competition. We've had like huge storylines. A non-Korean player wins BlizzCon. It's been a hell of a year for StarCraft, and it's really exciting going into 2019. So that is pretty sick. Armory about to finish up here in a moment or two as souL going for the 420 Dank Blaze It build. A couple of Marines in the medevac. The Hellions coming across ready for the Hellbats. It's slowed down a little bit. He's not going to hit quite a 420 because of that Reaper. Having to chase the Lings around. Just, you know, little things which slowed him down a little bit there. Losing some SCV money. Hellbats morphing in and moving forwards. Oh, Link counter attack from Reynor. Just a few Zerglings can get so much done here because there's absolutely nothing left at home. As he's just got a... Oh my god, look at this. He's got a wall off for the Queens to hide behind, so these Hellbats can't touch Reynor. Cancel that wall off now as the Queens will come in. Hellbats will obviously roast a good few Zerglings, but Alrighty, I mean, a lot of damage dealt here. The medevac in the main is taking more damage as well. The Queens will have a little bit of trouble getting up there. Lings just picking their way through the natural currently. A few Lings peel away to get that SCV kill too. So far, 4 SCV is dead. Now the medevac goes down. There's no healing on these Hellbats. Yes, Reynor's losing mining time. That's pretty much all he's going to be losing here. Just needs to transfuse a couple of Queens up. He should be good. The Hellbats will go back down to the low ground. Maybe the Lings can stop them. Coming in, trying to keep them just a couple of Lings at a time just to try and stop them running down so that the Queens can pick up some damage without having to run after them. What a hold by Reynor. Absolutely crazy. And at the same time, he was just having such a great time over here. Only killed a few SCVs, but denied mining time as well. Makes up for some of the mining time he lost as well. You can lift up Hellbats with a medevac, yes, but it was kind of a tough situation. That medevac was so low. He was trying to keep it away from the Queens as much as he could. The issue is, at some point, you kind of keep pulling it, you know, if you start microing the medevac onto the Hellbats, the Queens are just going to keep getting shots, and it dies even faster. That's the last thing you want to have happen. So sick defense here so far by Reynor. As now we see more Hellions looking to drop into the main, but Lings are in position, and, well, I mean, even if we drop up here, it's not going to do that much, right? Lings are ready to come in for us around. There's Queens nearby. Now souL goes into a fusion core, looking towards the battle cruisers as a follow-up here for himself. In fact, he's going double starport. Oh, is he going to go Liberange? He builds a Liberator. Maybe Liberange is a way back into this. Reynor can't scout the main because of this Viking. So the Overlord gets pushed away, and Reynor will be unaware of what's currently going on in this. So he won't be able to prepare with a kind of a preemptive spy or anything, unless he just kind of, you know, he could roll the dice, but that would really just not make sense at all. So that would definitely kind of suck. There's these couple of creep teamers just pressing forwards, and while Hellions coming in, Queens are going to come to respond to those very quickly. And those Hellions get pushed out through the bottom side of the map. Roaches and a Queen in the main base. Oh my god, that medevac is so low. It is going to go down. And, well, again, nice defense here as the Vikings are going to go wandering into the main. That'll take some damage too. This one should be saved by souL. Should be able to pull it back in plenty of time. It's only one Queen. Reynor just pushing creep forwards here. About to have +1 Carapace. I wonder if he's just going to go... I mean, Ling Roach is being built. Carapace upgrade would maybe work, but he doesn't have Roach speed, which makes it a little bit tough to justify. It is battle cruisers from the starports, by the way. And again, Reynor will not have much of an idea about this as he tries to come through the bottom side of the map with Queens. Well, BCs could really turn this around, although... that's what I was about to say. No Yamato cannon yet. Yamato is actually kind of big on the Queens because you can get rid of 2 very high energy Queens right away. No transfuse to save them or anything. Because the Yamato just one-shots them before transfuse can get a heal off. So it is Lings, Roaches, and Ravagers coming across. Reynor looking to be aggressive. It's going to be down to the BCs to defend, so we'll see if he can as Reynor keeps on moving over. Queen's obviously a little bit frustratingly slow at the moment. There's some Lings up to the top side, so they're actually going to come in as souL transfers position on the third base. SCVs are immediately being roasted. Hellions now pulled out to the top as Lings will dive in towards the natural position. Oh, the BCs could not show up any sooner, could they, as the Lings will break in. The issue is I don't think the BCs are going to be very good at dealing with the Zerglings. So while these Lings will kind of... These Lings will just go wild on the natural. The Hellions are pushed back because they can't get in due to the Roaches zoning them out. Transfusers going to be denied there by the battle cruisers. As obviously you can teleport these battle cruisers away as well. The whole idea from Reynor now, though, is just to get as much damage as you can, put the Terran into an unrecoverable position, so that even when the BCs have cleaned this up, it's not really going to matter. A couple corrosive barrels will hit, not quite the tail end of those SCVs, but already 41 workers dead. These Lings over here had a good time. Hellions will turn this into a run-by, but souL will just type out GG.